have to say, on behalf of the Bamford family, and sadly, my parents are missing this amazing conference. I think for the first time, they've really been able to attend every other time, and they are traveling in the UK right now. But I want, on behalf of the whole family, and my brother Drew was in fact here yesterday as a respondent, want to express my excitement for being here at this two-day conference that is really drawing attention to the themes that Divya has mentioned: global innovation and design, globalism, environment, health and human rights, media and security. We'll be hearing more about the global workforce today from Don and our panelists. And it has, even more than that, I love so much just hearing the thoughtful and inspiring learning and presentations from you all, student leaders in the UW-Tacoma community, and how it connects with our larger global community. So I want to congratulate first all the student leaders who are participating in this event. I also, of course, want to thank my friend Divya McMillan and applaud her leadership. She should probably have some sort of superhero cape for all that she does. She is truly everywhere. And congratulate Divya and her whole team on another successful Institute for Global Engagement conference. And I just want to again thank her too for her incredible energy and commitment to growing opportunities for students, and really emphasizing for all of us the importance of our role in the larger global community. The Bamford Foundation, I'll be telling you a little bit about that today, is really honored to partner with University of Washington-Tacoma in a number of ways in support of global honors and Institute for Global Engagement over these years, and more recently this year, supporting the launch of the Global Innovation and Design Lab. We are excited to invest resources in this kind of access to global learning and research opportunities for students, and equally excited to invest in an innovation and design hub that can catalyze collaborative partnerships that really can make transformative change locally as well as globally. And when I tell you a little bit about the Bamford Foundation, that idea of transformation and the transformation through education is sort of a running theme. That idea and that core value, as well as commitment and engagement in community, global citizenship, hard work, generosity, are core values that my parents, Cal and Joanne Bamford, as founders of the foundation, have practiced and taught and shared with future generations. And particularly equitable access to educational opportunities for people of all ages in our community, and access to tools and resources for community members to design solutions that respond to their visions for strong communities. That helps to center our grant making and partnership work. Education was what brought my parents together, actually, in the first place. They met on a bench outside of a building, arriving from opposite coasts of the country. They sat down on a bench waiting to take entrance tests to transfer into University of Pennsylvania for their sophomore years to pursue studies in business and education. And so that was sort of the genesis of their partnership. And years later, the Bamford Foundation was established in 1990 by Cal and Joanne in an effort to contribute to the quality of life for individuals and families in Tacoma and Pierce County specifically. My father, Cal, while still not retired, which is not surprising to anyone who knows this person, he has served as president of Globe Machine Manufacturing for over 50 years. Globe Machine Manufacturing Company is an engineering and manufacturing family-owned business, which was founded by my father's grandfather, Jesse, who immigrated from Manchester, England, to start that, to the Pacific Northwest to start that business. And it has now been operating for over 100 years of service to the industry in the state of Washington, and located along the Foss Waterway near the 11th Street Bridge, has over 175 employees. Thanks to the global success of Globe, of his company, my father was inspired, along with my mother, to find a way to give back to their home community, where my parents raised a family and where my mother taught and volunteered and has not ceased to volunteer. So that's also not surprising to people who might know her. She continues to work with board and campaign leadership with the University of Washington, Tacoma, the Children's Museum of Tacoma, United Way of Pierce County. That was really the genesis for the founding of the foundation in 1990. And since its beginning, the Bamford Foundation has invested more than $8 million in our local communities in the following priority giving areas. And sorry I didn't get slides together, but and those include basic needs and human services, early learning, which includes parent support, access to early learning experiences, and professional development opportunities for early learning professionals. Another large area is access to expanded learning opportunities for all ages, but in particular for students in K-12. And then last but not least is access to higher education opportunities and job training opportunities for individuals in our community. We've really been, as a family, I think I can speak for my family, that we've been grateful for and acknowledge the privilege that we've had to come together as a family with my siblings, Drew and Heather, and their families, to learn together and to take action around this value of transformational learning and the role of lifelong learning in the lives of people. The family has appreciated being able to listen and learn from those closest to the work, those with lived experience, about issues and challenges facing our communities in Pierce County and South Puget Sound. And then we've had that opportunity to collaborate as a family to make strategic funding decisions, and most importantly, to work alongside, volunteer, and partner with inspiring organizations, initiatives, and efforts who are making a difference every day in the lives of people who are, in fact, our greatest community resource, from our youngest children to our oldest generations. We acknowledge as a foundation the power of people having the tools and opportunities to recognize and realize their passions, hopes, and dreams, and what a difference that makes to sustain our local and our global communities. We've learned from our perspective as a foundation and a funding partner that it really is critical to begin mapping and figuring out ways to align resources that not only involve the assets of the communities themselves, but also sectors such as the nonprofit, business, government, private philanthropy sectors. And that indeed is a very complex and messy problem, but a challenge. We've learned it's essential also in this work of philanthropy to keep a lens of equity, diversity, and inclusion, and that's essential to the work. So knowing that the landscape of our work as funders and nonprofit partners is changing and recognizing that social transformation requires new ways of working together, we really do have the highest respect for our community partners in Tacoma and Pierce County who've demonstrated a real commitment, and I've certainly witnessed an openness to working with each other here in Tacoma and Pierce County, collaborating, relationship building, communicating information and ideas with others to address some of these big systemic issues that are affecting our city. But also true transformational change is going to require more than just a willingness to work together. And for that, our foundation has grown to respect efforts to innovate, design, reflect, and take risks when faced with what seem like insurmountable problems. So over the 2 days of this conference, well, we've had one and we're getting to embarking on the next, we're seeing students and community members discuss our interdependence, our interdependent world, and we have seen some examples of applying a design approach to solving global and local problems, and that's exciting to me. And when I was reflecting on our grant-making approach at the Bamford Foundation, I can see elements of a design approach reflected, which doesn't completely surprise me because we've got two, in my father and brother have two engineers and entrepreneurs, and in my sister, myself, my mother have educators, career educators. So, so some of these elements of the design approach, I think, include a need to really understand a problem, understand the need by building empathy and deep listening. And I think that's something that we really tried to do as a family foundation in the community. the process of research and learning. And while the idea of rapid prototyping and development is perhaps not the same, I think it parallels some of what we've done to try and support organizations to work more effectively together and evaluate their own effectiveness through use of real-time data collection, as well as design. I think also connects to experiences that we've had taking a risk to perhaps invest in something that's new and that might be untested, and knowing that that trial and error is part of a process of learning for both ourselves and our nonprofit community partner. While our efforts to engage in philanthropy in this way, as I said, no doubt reflect our family experience, I think they also